We'll get all up in that Darkman shit.
Get all the way inside of it.
Get up like you were like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and squirrels, welcome to one of many podcasts that begin up into it. That it is Joey's arbitrary list of stupid comic book related things. I am the man who did this introduction. I, of course, am Chuck-ish. I don't know, man. I'm Joey's
sometimes
3D printed tit.
There you go.
This week. Yep. It's true. I am. Mm-hmm. I couldn't remember what they called it in the movie because that's what I was
like synthetic.
Yeah,
digital synthetic skin or something.
It was literally 3D printed. Like it was a resin 3D print. Yeah, it was. I was just like, huh, wow, it's ahead of its time.
1990,
of course. I wonder if that shit started the 3D printing. That's like somebody saw this movie and they were like, "Fuck, dude, that's
if you saw the movie and got ideas." I am sorry for you because this.
Oh no, I already got the idea of a sipping duck lighting a bomb on fire. I mean, come on.
That happened twice. I didn't have that count on my bingo card. But yeah,
of course,
hi everybody.
Yes, that is of course the CEO, editor-in-chief, supreme ruler, and reptilian overlord of the Comic Book Rundown. I guess is that right? I guess you are. Yeah, I guess you are. I mean, it's also like Tim is of the network, so this would just be you specifically. You're like the COO.
Is that what it is?
Right? He's just like a hedge fund guy. He's a project manager. He's a project champion.
I brought this show to the network, so
right. It was we were looking for investors.
CEO, yeah, I'd be COO, I guess. I don't know
how many points of equity did you give Tim in exchange for? I'm not really sure. $10, I guess.
Good fondle.
Oh wow. Okay, so like two points of equity. Yeah. I just learned about points of equity. I
can tell you're using a lot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I just obtained some, so it's pretty. It's interesting. I haven't actually figured out if it's actually worth anything yet, but it's nice.
I got.
Oh, and Ron's here. Hi, Ron, with a new cat. People at YouTube can see the new cat. Head over to youtube.something. A bunch of other stuff. Check it in the description or check us out on any of the socials at the end of the show to find us. Thank you. We watched Darkman.
Darkman from 1990. This is Sam Raimi.
I watched most of Darkman.
You watched 3/4 of Darkman. You want to go ahead and explain that one?
All right. So I tried watching it on Thursday night, right? Got it all ready, got it up there going, started watching it, fell asleep. And I'm like, I watched it a little late. It's understandable. So Friday night, I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, time to watch it again. I was like, I'll watch through the rest of it. I was like, because the first time I fell asleep like probably not even halfway through it. So I started watching it again from the start because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Fell asleep while they're fighting in his like lab in the second area in the second
warehouse.
Time, the warehouse lab.
Yeah,
I fell asleep again, and then I was going to watch it today before the show started, but then Joey informed me that you only have 24 hours to watch it from the time that you hit play until the time
it's 48 hours from the time you hit play. That's why if you did not watch it by Saturday night when you had started, then yeah, you would have to rent it again.
Yeah,
so it's not worth renting again.
No, absolutely not.
you had about 20 minutes left, I think, give or take. But I mean, not really a ton happened in that back half or that back. 20 minutes.
Not really a ton happened in the first part of it either, to be honest.
I mean, a story was being told.
That's true.
Something, sort of. No, I remember watching this.
Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, you were about to experience a very rare situation on this show where these two are about to shit on it for an entire hour, and I'm going to talk about why I actually loved this movie. So
I'm not going to shit on it.
Really sounds like you're going to get. It sounds like you're gearing up to shit on it here, Joey.
It's not great. I will say it's not great.
Take a little.
But I'm
going to shit on it.
I had fun. I'm middle of the roads. I'm sides of the road because
here's the thing.
Definitely under 5.
I believe I said last episode as the trailer played silently on my other screen. Joey, this looks fucking terrible. I believe was my exact words.
I'd have to go check the archives. I don't remember.
Check the archives.
Sounds accurate.
I haven't edited that episode yet.
Patreon.com/professional casual. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. So my expectations were real low, like really bottom of the barrel here. I didn't know what to expect. I also
because this was your first time watching it, right?
Yeah, so yes and no. This is the technically first full watch through.
Okay.
I have seen once again, I hung out with people who were much older and probably shouldn't have when I was much younger. They were obsessed with this movie. They loved this movie, but they were big Sam Raimi guys. So anything.
So the red flags just weren't kicking up until you were an adult. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's all in hindsight. It's all in hindsight. But I look at it and all I remember is the final scene because that's the part I saw when I walked into the house when they were watching it.
Tell me about the final scene.
We'll get there.
It's a clip of Bruce Campbell being at the end of it. And I was like, oh, Bruce Campbell's in this movie. And Joey was like, no, he's not in this movie. He's not in it at all. Nanny boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. I was
You were right.
He's in the
you were
he makes
right.
a nice little cameo at the end because he's Sam Raimi's buddy.
Allegedly, he was Sam. I don't know if Sam Raimi was doing it or what, but he was in the running for lead for Peyton Westlake.
See, I think that I would have actually liked it a lot better if he would have been the lead for this.
It was very obvious that that's what they kind of wanted because Liam Neeson plays very like Ash from Evil Dead 2 silly over the top as it progresses.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
wrong
real quick, this is literally the plot to The Fly. It just doesn't have what's his nuts in it, Jeff Goldblum, which automatically scores it an extra point for me. So,
which is fair.
Yeah, I'm not a Jeff. I am. I don't
I
get it.
I don't remember.
I don't
like I've seen it long ass time ago, but I don't.
I mean, same premise. He fucks up in a science experiment and tries to fix it and drives him mad. Same concept.
Ron, so have you seen this before, or is this your first time?
So I have never seen this movie all the way through,
and you still haven't, apparently.
And I still haven't. Correct.
Okay.
When I was younger, I remember like catching bits and pieces of it on like maybe HBO or something when I was at my mom's house.
Okay.
But like I have never seen it from start to finish ever.
So I remember watching this years ago. I think it was one of those edited for TV, like ABC night movie or whatever, like Saturday night movie. So I remember seeing it. One scene I remember specifically was the scene when he was pretending to be Durant at the Hong Kong restaurant, and he does the whole like, you have to give me my money by the time I finish the cigar, and he cuts the cigar down to like 2 inches or something. Like I remember that scene specifically. The rest of the movie I did not remember one bit, and I got a very Swamp Thing vibe when the lab got destroyed and blown up, and he got blown out into a water.
Yeah. Which the lab was also on top of a coffee shop, which was also their apartment.
It was his loft apartment. And I went at the very beginning when she is on the bed making her lawyer phone calls, with like her business phone calls, and he just comes with a coffee, sits it on her paperwork, and then hops on bed as well. I'm like, do you guys not have a table in that giant loft? Like, is there no kitchen at all?
Well, of course not, because he turned it into a lab.
But there would still be like a kitchen dining room area.
Nope. That was what he made the lab out of. See, the only thing that they had to themselves was their bedroom and the bathroom. And even then, his apprentice would come through and his kung fu fighting apprentice would come through and use the other room. So
he did have a lot of skills because Ted Raimi ventilated him so quickly.
Yeah. Are you talking about Joxer?
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh, Chuck, in case you weren't old enough, that's a Xena reference.
Oh, I know Xena Warrior Princess. Thank you very much. She gave me my second boner ever, so I'm very well aware of Xena Warrior Princess. Looking through the cast of this, I just happened to click on Darkman 2. Is that on our list of things we have to watch?
So it is technically.
Okay.
I was gonna like 2 and 3 technically, and I'm very confused by that because the title of the second one is Darkman 2:
Return of Durant.
Return of Durant, which he kind of blew up in a helicopter. So how the hell?
Well, he's in it. He's very much in
I
it.
know.
He's the lead in this because they don't bring back Liam Neeson, and more importantly, Arnold Vosloo is in.
Yep.
Yes.
In 2 and 3, he comes back for the third one as well.
Therefore, it's automatically better because it, is probably the plot to The Mummy from the sounds of it. So I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, we could. Those two, I believe, were direct to video because when I watched the trailer for the second one on Prime on Amazon, it was like coming to VHS, like such and such a date. I'm like, oh, I wonder if these were just direct to video.
Probably.
And I assume Raimi had no hand in either one of them. Yeah, probably.
Correct. He did not.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if it's actually more based off the comic. If they were just like,
by that time,
the first one wasn't accurate.
Well, here's the thing: the comic didn't actually come out until after this movie came out. So this is another one of those where the movie hit first, and then the comic eventually was made. Okay, we've only hit a few of those. Yep, I'm sure we'll have some more in the future.
I also used to confuse this movie with The Shadow.
So funny you say that.
Yeah.
Because according to IMDb, I also, and maybe it's because of Danny Elfman's score, got a very Batman vibe from this movie.
Yes.
Raimi was trying to get the rights to make a Batman movie. He got passed up, got given to Tim Burton. But then he was also trying to make a Shadow movie, or The Shadow movie. And he couldn't secure the rights to that, so he created his own character in Darkman. And yeah, I definitely felt a lot of Batman vibes. I haven't seen The Shadow. That's also on our list. We'll be getting to that in the future, maybe even this year.
I want to say I saw it because I had action figures of it.
Okay.
And I typically didn't get action figures to things I didn't see, but I absolutely thought The Shadow and Darkman were the same guy for like the longest time.
There's a lot of similar vibes, so I can see why you would think that. I maybe have seen bits and pieces of the Shadow movie, and I haven't read any Shadow comics, but I've read him in a few different like crossovers, a little bit here with like Green Hornet and the Mask, not the Mask. I think it was Mask. Anyway, that's
Cars
Dynamite.
The Cars Mask?
No.
MASK.
Dynamite Comics has a bunch of these I don't want to say lower level tier superheroes, but these
lower level tier superheroes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, not Superman, Spider-Man.
Hear me out. Darkman meets Mask, the cars that did other things. Kind of would like that crossover. Kind of here for that crossover. Okay. Bring John Cena in, but he's going to play Darkman.
So shouldn't he play Invisible Man?
I mean, maybe. According to IMDb, we had talked about Bruce Campbell earlier. Apparently, Sam Raimi did want Campbell to play the lead, but the producers were uncertain that Campbell could handle the part. And that's why he just does a small cameo.
He's not a draw.
No, he's not. Well, he's not a draw in 90. Probably in late 90s, early 2000s, he might have been. After, like, Evil Dead got the
no way.
Well, I mean, Evil Dead and the like got a very cult following.
Cult following, sure, but this is you're talking 90s, early 2000 cult following where the internet was just becoming a thing and people were the actual like idea of like cult cinema was actually like more mainstream. But like before that, it was like zines and like the tours and stuff like that. Do you really think that like mainstream studios were looking at stuff like that and saying we can capitalize? No way.
No, definitely not. But what I'm saying is, had they went with him, or had this movie been made later, and him being the lead role, I think that'd be more. Had it been made in the late '90s, early 2000s with Bruce Campbell, I think that would have been a draw. He would have been able to draw people in. He could have been the lead.
I don't know. He might have been too old to be the lead at that point in time.
I mean, he would have been late 30s. According to this, the Peyton was 30 to 35, according to that one nurse that found him. So, like, you add a couple years, I don't think that would have been as terrible because he's a scientist. It would have made more sense if he was a little older, right?
How old is Bruce Campbell?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he'd have been in a
Tangled Adventure. What the fuck?
What?
Hold, please. He's in Rapunzel's Tangled Adventures. I don't know. He's in the car. He's in Cars 2 and Cars 2 video game.
He was born in 58. In 98, he would have been 40. So if they had made this in late 90s, he would have been 40. So that would not have been bad. I think
he's Final Shemp. That's his name, by the way, in this movie, Final Shemp. In 1990. Prior to that, he's in Maniac Cop 2, The Dead Next Door, Sundown Vampire in Retreat, Intruder, Moontrap, Maniac Cop, which I didn't realize he was a Maniac Cop. I've wanted to watch that. I've just never seen it. Knots Landing, Evil Dead 2, Sappy Sap, Thou Shalt Not Kill Except, Crime Wave, Going Back, Cleveland Smith Bounty Hunter, Generations, the TV show, Toro, Evil Dead. I mean, he's not been in anything, so I don't blame the studios for being like tell me any of those that were a blockbuster movie.
So if they would have made this after Briscoe County Jr., they would have had no reason not to accept him because that was his peak moment. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't know. I would say Army of Darkness was probably. I mean, those
might be what he's most known for, but Briscoe County Jr. was his best role, I think.
Nah, you forget
about the fact that he was Bill Church Jr. in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman for 3 episodes.
I feel like I remember
1995.
Yeah,
which is weird. I had that group of like dudes that I hung out with that were way too old. One dude's name was Bill Church.
Yeah,
isn't that weird? That's so weird.
That is weird.
Okay. He was in Tornado! A TV movie.
He did
a lot of more TV stuff than I've realized.
Yeah, because he was in Xena and Hercules.
Yep.
Did a lot of that because, of course, Sam Raimi. X-Files for an episode, Time Cop.
He was in Pitfall 3D Beyond the Jungle video game as Pitfall Harry.
Oh, fun.
Why don't I remember that at all? Okay, interesting. I loved Pitfall. He was in an episode of
we're forgetting? The best one ever, McHale's Navy.
That was pretty good.
Okay. He was in From Dusk Till Dawn 2.
He was also in Weird Science, the TV show. Bringing it back around.
You know what? It was pretty good. Pretty good. So, yeah, like, unless you were like a super dork nerd cult follower of like VHS tape trading and and Evil Dead
I
stuff.
guess I would agree him for lead is probably not. And obviously Raimi probably put it in there because they were great friends.
Hold, please. Let's see what Liam Neeson had. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll be back.
At this point, not a lot.
Rob Roy.
In the early 90s. I will put this while you're looking it up. Apparently, Bill Paxton was almost cast as Peyton.
No.
According to Paxton,
that would have been terrible.
He told his friend Liam Neeson about the audition. When Neeson got the role, Paxton was so angry that he did not speak to Neeson for months. That's according to IMDb. I don't know how true that is.
Legitimately, shout out to Liam Neeson for willing to take roles and never get credited for them. Half of the stuff on his IMDb is like who he was uncredited. Most of the time just playing himself, but I just think that's really interesting. 1 second, getting to the bottom. Okay, so Darkman, 1990. Prior to that, Next to Kin, Storm, High Spirits, The Good Mother, The Dead Pool, Satisfaction, Screen 2, Suspect, A Prayer for the Dying, Hold the Dreams, Sworn in Silence. Yeah, so nothing really.
Miami
86 was in Duet, one episode of Miami Vice. That's interesting. The Mission, it comes, If Tomorrow Comes, Lamb, The Innocent. Yeah, a bunch of stuff nobody's ever fucking heard of. He's in Crawl?
Sir. Crawl. Like, that's
what?
one. That's one. Oh, also
you took
Excalibur.
that off the list.
Huh?
You took Crawl off the list, right?
I never had it on the list. I probably should. It's one of those where.
Wait, what am I thinking of? That's the spinoff to Conan.
Crawl. Crawl was supposed to be a Conan-esque movie, but it wasn't actually connected to Conan.
Yo, Crawl looks fucking rad, dude. This is like everything I would love. It's sci-fi, sword and sorcery. It looks like what I wanted Masters of the Universe to be.
That's fair. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, and it's on Paramount Plus.
Ooh, I have that.
I think. Oh, maybe
I
lied.
Because I had talked to a few friends about Crawl, and it was. I want to say it was Conan, but not Conan. I can throw it on the list. We can watch it next. Not next, but like the next
Sure.
for the other, if you want. But
why not?
I mean, I feel like we should finish the trilogy. No,
I mean, we can.
Or I guess the saga, because they're technically we watched Red Sonja.
Yeah, so, I mean, Red Sonja was the definitive sequel to Conan the Destroyer, I guess.
It still counts.
Call it that. I don't know. I
don't know if I would call it definitive, but
I mean, it was actually connected.
Yeah, I know.
Connected more than Crawl probably is.
Maybe.
But just going back to Bruce Campbell, it's just super interesting. He did Spider-Man and then just didn't really do anything except for some like Evil Dead stuff. That's just really interesting.
He did, what was it? Bubba Hotep in like the mid 2000s, which is like the best movie ever. That's not true.
I still haven't watched that yet, but I've got it over here on the shelf.
It's a messed up movie.
Oh, he's in Congo? Oh shit. Didn't realize that. Okay. Anyway, what are we talking about?
He was in Congo?
Yeah, he was
in Congo.
No way. I haven't thought about that movie since like 1996 or something.
Tim Curry's in that. Wow, this is like kind of a
one. It's like not a terrible movie, but it was around the time where we were all obsessed with making apes know sign language. So it
yes, I do remember that.
Yeah,
like what was that? Mike Joe Young and
yep.
This looks
I think the
like
King Kong remake had just come out in like the mid 90s, if I remember correctly.
Oh god, that was terrible. I remember
that.
This looks like Congo looks like Anaconda with a monkey.
Basically, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
They go to the jungle. They take them back to the jungle, and they end up meeting other apes or something. I don't remember. It's been
okay.
And then the apes have laser eyes, right?
If only.
There's something. Then there's something.
He also
there are lasers in that movie. I know for a fact there are.
Yes, I can't remember exactly what it was, but
maybe the people had lasers they were shooting the monkeys with. I don't remember.
I don't know.
And then there was like a one-eyed monkey.
I think
I could also be making all this up, but
I think you're thinking of Rise and Fall of the Planet of the Apes.
No, because that was way later.
Are you sure?
I still need to watch all those movies. Anyway, let's get back to Darkman. Okay, let's get back to Darkman.
Actually, okay, I did like this movie.
So we watched this movie called Darkman, and I watched all of the movie, and I know exactly how it ends, and it's not happy.
It's not.
Is it? Yes. See, I told you I've seen it.
It's like
Anyway.
it's like a typical like edgelordy I can't be with you because I'm disgusting, and so I'm
Yeah, you
going
said
to
it was
go,
Sam Raimi.
yeah, I'm going to go find my vengeance. Kind of the same plot of Spider-Man, honestly.
Just saying, yeah. Except,
He has
he's
okay,
all
he
hideous good.
has what I like to call the Games Workshop theory. Okay, Games Workshop makes Warhammer, and ever since the 80s, Games Workshop has stolen every other cool IP and tweaked it just a little bit to fit into their universe. Okay, so Judge Dredd, Starship Troopers, you name it, it's an Alien. Like it's all in there, right? It's all just amalgamated. He clearly just took a bunch of different IPs that he wanted to make movies of, but couldn't get the rights to,
Which was Batman
and just
in the Shadow.
and literally just cracked them together. This, if I was to assume like what a crossover of like Batman and Shadow would look like, remember when like DC and Marvel like did like Dark Claw and stuff, and they like
They did the
fused
amalgam
characters?
universe. Yep.
This is exactly what this is. Like, except for it gets a little weird and campy because it's Sam Raimi, and we can't just make a serious movie.
Yeah, the when he's at the fair with what's the name?
Over the
Take the fucking elephant. Oh.
Yeah, like he sees the one freak on this, like it's not even a traveling circus. It's literally just a street fair, and they have a freak showing there.
Street fair is kind of a traveling circus, and they're all freaks. They're called carnies.
Sure, and I'm pretty sure that guy was just somebody in a mask, but no, like he starts.
Yeah, of course it was. He's a carny. Of course he was a dude in a mask. Like 90% of the rest of the people in this movie.
No, I'm pretty sure those are actually carnies' real faces. They just look like masks.
I mean, that's possible too.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, when he's trying to get the elephant for Julia, and he starts going like mad, and like you get the
it's
the
even
lightning
shot,
in the background.
It's even shot like Evil Dead 2 when Ash is going crazy. Yeah. It's shot the same way. Did this came out after?
This came out after, because Evil Dead came out in what, 83, 84?
Something like that, yeah.
And then Evil Dead 2 was like 87 or 88.
He was just like, oh, I got some good shit. Hold on, we're gonna shoot this just like I did in the other one. Which, like, realistically speaking, what was the budget for this movie?
Evil Dead was a literal college film. Evil Dead 2 was the same movie, but with a budget. Like,
no. It was okay. But he does the same thing in every movie, because there's even shit like that in Spider-Man.
Yes. But Spider-Man makes sense because he has the spider sense. So the quick pan in makes sense for that versus.
But I'm just saying it's Sam Raimi's, like, it's one of his things.
But I don't remember that in Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness. But I've also always seen
there are definitely some zoom-ins in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
I don't know. I've always seen that twice. And it was in theaters. I haven't watched it.
I've only seen it once, and it was on Disney Plus. So
I haven't.
No, wait. Did I see that in theaters? I might have seen that in theaters, actually. When did it come out?
Yes.
It came out.
Oh, come on, Joe. You know when everything.
I don't remember.
It came out just at the end of the pandemic. Like,
I might have actually seen it.
Right at the end.
I think
of,
I did
like,
see that in theaters.
Like when things were opening back up, it was streaming for premium on Disney Plus when it dropped.
Yeah, no, I don't pay anything for. I don't pay premium things. I won't buy a fucking movie on streaming unless it's for this stupid fucking pot. Oh,
and you don't buy it; you rent it. There's a difference.
I still have to pay for it, therefore I have purchased it.
It's no different than going to Redbox. Go to Redbox.
I don't know if you've heard.
Do they still have Redbox?
I think
they do.
Yes. Oh, they do. They do.
All the time. They just have like the newer stuff.
Specifically, Ithaca, New York, still has red boxes at every gas station.
Well, shit, I guess I'll just drive to Ithaca.
We got red boxes at every CVS. Yeah. And I think I see it in Kroger a lot too. So
see, I never pay attention to that shit anymore.
Well, remember when like you could just go online and find the coupon for a free Redbox rental constantly, all the time? Man, I got so many
Yep.
free ones from that.
Well, fuck, dude, they used to send them in your emails too.
Sure. But I stopped actually looking at my emails, so yeah, I don't know.
That's fair. I haven't checked my Yahoo email in like a year.
Yeah.
It's
was
what I
a
get.
It was a commercial success, grossing $48 million above its $14 million budget. This movie only had $14 million.
I mean, that it shows.
1990 money. See, I thought I was expecting it to be much more low budget than it was. It has some, I mean, it looks bad now, but for the time, probably had some really cool looking shit. The practical effects I thought looked awesome.
Well,
Oh, the
okay,
practical effects are good.
his
Except for
mask, his Liam Neeson's mask when he was not when he had the wrappings, but when the wrappings came off, looked amazing. Looked really, really good.
Except his Liam Neeson mask looked terrible.
I mean, it's just his face. But like,
That's my bad.
When they were doing the special effects of the 3D imaging of whatever he was about to print off, those didn't look terrible for 1990. They didn't look great, but for 1990 effects, they looked fine. Like, I'm saying specifically, like when his face was on there and circling around, or like the hand, like that, all that looked okay.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, I'm pretty sure we saw shit like that in like RoboCop and stuff too, though, didn't we?
I don't think so.
So that's why I love this, like why I really ended up liking this movie, because it definitely has RoboCop vibes. Like this movie was kind
Like
of
his
made for
fucking.
me.
I'm pretty sure I have a note here that says his hideout's the same place that RoboCop hid out.
Yeah,
Except they changed it from a steel mill to like a like chemical factory.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but like just the campiness of it, just the silliness and over the top. Like, if I'm going to watch specifically a '90s action movie, this is what I expect it to be. I expect it to be like RoboCop. I expect it to be like like this over the top.
Oh, see, when I expect '90s, I think more Demolition Man.
But that's campy and over the top. That's just
future. Demolition Man is a '90s action movie. Like,
right,
it
but
is.
Like, Demolition Man very much looks like RoboCop, just with updated like looks, like better. It does. It's a little less grimy. I'll give you that. It's a little less grimy.
Sure,
but it's not as much of a dystopian future as it was. In fact, it isn't. It was a utopian future. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
But I just like this does have like that same like a 90s action vibe that I like really, really like. So I get excited when I see that, and then I see this like over the top. Some of the acting was pretty terrible, even for campiness, for like my taste. But overall, this was a me movie. This was made for me. It wasn't made for you guys. This was a Charlie pick apparently. Like overall, because I also was baking the entire time I was watching it. So like maybe because I wasn't
baking or baked.
Baking. I was making cake.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were baked or if you were baking.
No, I was baking.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I was like 90% paying attention. So maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much too, because I missed some of the other stuff that people hated. I don't know. Also, essentially it had a $33 million budget in today's money, which doesn't seem like that much.
Not really, no.
For a movie.
But then if you factor in how much it's made, so if it was $14 million budget originally.
Well, hold on.
So it would have made. I mean, it made triple. Yeah, it made almost over
grossing
triple.
48 million above its $48 million budget.
So $48 million above its $14 million budget.
Right. So you'd add that
So that's-
$14 million.
So
back
it's
in.
60. So it's like 4
62.
times as much.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
good.
not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
For 1990. I mean,
Seem to give a
but
shit.
what's really interesting is that it got a direct-to-video release and not a theatrical release for a sequel. You would figure with that much of a
How long
overhead-
between the sequel though?
I don't remember.
It was like 4 years.
Was it 4 years?
That's probably why then.
And also, Sam Raimi's name wasn't on it.
5 years. It was 1995 was part
Okay.
2.
But Sam Raimi's name wasn't on it, so nobody gave a shit.
I think that's
They
kind
didn't
of what
bring
it
back
was,
Liam
yeah.
Neeson, even though they
Yeah.
set it up for it to like they could literally have Bruce Campbell the next time around. You know what I mean? Like the whole point is that you can replace the lead actor because he can change his face whenever he wants now.
Correct. But you could
So-
definitely tell it was Liam Neeson under the wrappings, though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the actual bad guy in this, Strack.
Drac, yeah.
So like, was that really just a close spelling to Stark and they messed up? Like, honestly.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
But regardless of that, like that dude was going so hard for the after funeral rebound on whatever the fuck her name was.
Julie or Julia, whichever.
Julie,
one.
yeah. Like that dude was really trying hard.
Julie. And I'm wondering if, because we find out at the end that he was the big boss, he had Durant do his dirty work. I'm wondering if he was going after Julie because she had the paperwork that
Even after the paperwork
put him
disappeared, he was still trying for it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Also, what the fuck is the main character name?
Peyton.
Peyton is a terrible scientist. I saw him mixing those fucking chemicals without measuring anything out, and then wondering why all of his shit didn't work out right.
No, man, he did a great job with measuring everything.
That's how I was baking.
No, baking is different though.
No, it's not.
It
the
is
exact
100%.
science. No,
It's
not
not
when
an
you double
exact
the
science.
oil. Not when you double the oil by accident, and you have really oily cake.
Yummy.
No, but
I mean-
baking still has a bit of a flair in there where you can change things and still make it work.
No, like regular cooking, sure, but baking, no, it's an exact science, and there's nothing worse than fucking around for 6 hours only to have it ruined because you changed something around and it didn't work right. I don't like baking. Joey, you like baking? Do you like Darkman?
I mean, I don't mind baking. I don't do it as much as I would like, but
What's your favorite go-to baked good? Is it Darkman?
no, it's Darkman.
Okay.
He definitely was baked. Although he was only baked
He was.
over 40% of his body, which is odd considering he was right by
he was actually-
fire.
Yeah, he was actually like barbecued, really,
Yeah.
more than anything. But
Maybe they just seared the outsides to keep the insides juicy, you know?
Ugh.
the fact that he never got an infection was actually super impressive because his wraps were disgusting.
Dude, right?
His
at the
bandages
beginning,
were
yeah, they
so
were
gross.
so bad.
Yeah, it's like, how are you not dead? How are you not?
But see, we don't know. He could have had an infection. He would have never noticed because he had no nerve endings.
Which the
true.
doctors or the nurse, whatever she was, did
Like,
purposely so that
Fucking stabbing him
Why?
like 3 inches into his arm with that fucking needle.
yeah. And
Yeah,
what was the
that's cool.
point of him being on that table going around? Like,
I think it was supposed to disorient him so he didn't get angry or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when I'm whipping around being disoriented, the last thing I think of is I should be angry about this. I usually get pretty fucking annoyed the second I'm like just even the slightest bit dizzy. I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. I start punching things.
Well, unless because
So-
he was apparently still in a coma, so unless that was to help get him out of the coma, which did, but his being strapped down, with belt straps didn't really go well. Also,
That's true.
because he had no feeling, he then became stronger.
Well, they said that his emotions would trigger his adrenaline glands because he would be constantly having adrenaline flow through his body, which would give him superior strength and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I know.
Comic book
Um,
science.
Okay, so yeah. So there's a part where when he's making his original mask, right? Like to make his face, where when he takes the eye from the other side to make the non-burnt side look like it's supposed to. Where it
Yeah.
says it's going to take like 560 something hours to.
Yep. 23 days.
So, yeah.
What it comes
So
out to be.
yeah, I know. I did the math on that too.
Yeah. They actually had that. They had like it down to the minute in the IMDb. I'm like, that's a lot of work there.
But so he has basically almost a month, right? At least
Sure.
3 weeks to figure out his plan for this face and everything. And he decides to fucking jump Julie at his fucking grave. Of all places to show up with his.
I thought he had 23 days to try to make his synthetic skin last in the sun longer than 99 minutes, which obviously it didn't happen because.
Yeah, no, the 23 days was so that it could make the rendering of his face.
No. Yes, 100%. But he also had. I would figure he'd want to take that time to make the skin last longer as well. Try to figure out how to do that. He's like, no, I'm gonna go and take care of all these guys that killed me.
Yeah. Priorities, man. Priorities.
I guess.
Well, also, so why is it that it takes 23 days for it to make his face, but he's able to print off the other dude's face in a heartbeat?
Because they have to. I think the 23 days was to fix the messed up parts for the actual printing. Because the picture was burnt, how did the whole loft get blown up? But that flimsy picture
it was stuck to his back when he flew out of the
it was not.
I know.
It was there. Anyway, yeah, I don't know.
It's like a tornado.
What?
Yeah, but fire will burn paper.
Yeah, no, it's like a tornado though. Like a tornado will
I do that too. Snorkel.
I was like, it rips through and it destroys the things in its path, but then like right next to it, completely unharmed. That's how a tornado works.
But the picture was burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it put itself out. There was a tornado. I just said it. Did you not hear me? Blew itself out.
I mean, it didn't, but okay. You say so. I do say so. Comic book logic. I'd be putting it on the fucking bingo. What do you want from me?
It's on the bingo. Don't worry. Yeah.
But comic book logic is.
I feel like comic book logic is
usually on every single. Like,
I was gonna say.
bingo.
I feel like this is just that's the free space at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anymore, yeah.
Yeah. Because anything comic book logic.
When they attack his second lab, and he takes the mask of the one dude and puts it over a mask of himself, and then has it on the dude. This guy's mouth duct taped shut. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. What did that remind me of?
V for Vendetta because that's basically how he got out of the first guy that they shoot when he takes over the TV station.
Sure, but also like that kind of also happened in
Batman,
like a few other
Dark
movies.
Knight. The Dark Knight when Bane is on the plane and they've all got the bags over their heads.
No, but okay, but what I'm saying is like a mask over a mask over a mask. Like the triple fake or whatever. Like that's happened. I've seen that in like a similar movie. I just can't remember what.
Yeah, probably Master of Disguise.
It's been a long time.
It was the Master of Disguise.
I'm gonna be.
I did enjoy that. Like that was like the masks looked perfect on their face, and then after he killed them, he could just easily flip it up off. It's like, oh my god, it was somebody else. Yeah, it was really weird.
And then when he walks up with the guy's Smiley's mask on, and yeah, he's smiling. He looks creepy as all get out. The double trope, as I called it, because it happened a few the other time with Durant. And then Smiley's just like, "What's going on?" I also like the part.
How would you like it if somebody walked up in a skin mask of your face?
Okay, but see, this is the thing. They already know he can make those masks. As soon as I saw somebody that looked like me, I would have shot him, or stabbed him, or ran away.
I don't think so. I think
100%.
So I think you know what? I'm gonna make a face of you. I'm gonna make a mask of your face, and I'm gonna show up one day, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do." I'm gonna be like, "I got you, Ron."
Chuck, you're so short though; it won't make any difference. I'll be like, "Why am I so short?"
I'll get stilts. I'll make up the difference.
You're like what, 5'11"?
I am 5'11" to 6 foot, depending on which convenience store I'm leaving. Thank you very much. I'll get the stilts. I'll get platforms.
You don't have to go that big of stilts. Just like an inch heel is all you'll need.
No, I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll go bigger. Ooh, maybe I'll go bigger. Like I'll get like 3 foot like stilts, and then I'll just come in the middle of the night and stand over your bed with your.
What's great though is my ceilings are so low, you just be bashing your head into everything.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll just be like super hunched over, just being like.
See, all I'll hear is as soon as you go to walk up the deck in front of my house because the stairs are so slippery on it, I'll just hear you falling down and like yelling and cussing, and then I'll walk outside.
There is. Stay tuned for the Patreon content. I'm sure of me trying to walk in stilts in general.
Oh, dude, stilts are fun to walk in.
No, I can barely stand on my regular feet. Now you're gonna put tiny little sticks underneath me. That sounds like a terrible time. I don't like falling over. It's not fun.
All right, so Rob, what was the last thing you remember? We could tell you the ending of this movie.
So, when the lab blows up for the second time with the little bird.
So this is after he's on the helicopter punching Durant or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that part, but that's when I started falling asleep.
Okay.
And then like I remember
from here,
I want to say he threw somebody out of a helicopter maybe. And that's like one of the last things I remember, or they were shooting at him while he was under a helicopter. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the grenade launcher, the classic 90s grenade launcher that was just a
huge thing.
Yeah, with the big drum. Because if I need to do
somebody out of the helicopter.
Yeah, if I need to do precision shooting, I'm gonna use a grenade launcher.
Right.
Hey, look, he doesn't have very big aim, but the Samaritan has very big bullets.
Not incorrect. He also proceeds to blow up the majority of the cars.
Yeah,
and himself. I'm pretty sure.
Which I don't think. I think I got maybe like one kill on that one because the other ones like weren't really like blown up. They just blown in front of them, and they had to, like steer away. But anyway, so there was a hook and rope or cable that got tossed out. Darkman falls down, grabs a hold of that, and then the helicopter pilot is like flying him through traffic. There's a scene where he is running atop of a trailer that semi in the trailer that I
tiptoeing.
just laughed because it was like the quick motion.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was tiptoeing. He looked like he was like fast running.
If you've ever seen like Child's Play, anytime that they had like the person as Chucky like scatter like
Yeah.
skitter like through, that's
Yep,
exactly
like
what
that,
it looked
yep.
like. Yeah, it was really weird.
It was pretty hilarious. Eventually what happens, he lands on top of the semi and he hooks the hook onto the semi as it's going through a tunnel. And then the helicopter with Durant in it crashes into the top of the tunnel. And I was gonna say he's dead, but he pops up in 2, so I don't know. Which then you get really confused really quick when the next scene is Durant at the with the work site where Strack is trying to build the new city, and he has Julie, and they're like, "All right, let's go and do this," and then he figures out really quick that it's not Durant because he says something about his kids that he doesn't have, and of course, Darkman's like he doesn't know, so he just plays along with it. That old trope. Eventually, the one guy who was holding Julie gets kicked off or thrown off of the like 30-story workplace, and then Strack gets thrown off. And then he can't be with Julie because he's a hideous, disfigured man.
Even
So
though she's
that's the end.
willing to love him,
So
and she's willing to
but
just
see,
cover
that's
him
the thing.
100%.
constantly.
So what happened was he actually got his dick burned off in the fire, and that's why he doesn't want a relationship anymore.
I mean, why can't he just like synthetically 3D print himself a new penis?
Right? You could put a vibrator inside of it. I mean,
it was proven that the skin will last
think it
in
would
the
work.
dark. So, yeah, I mean, as long as he has
Everything else was
pants
working,
on,
yeah.
and
Yeah, I
as
don't
long as
really-
it's dark when he has sex, it'll be fine.
Yeah, the plot kind of fell apart towards the end here. I kind of thought. 'Cause I did appreciate that she was like, yeah, if you just like, just always have this on your face, so you're not hideous, I can love you. Like I can learn to love you. And he was just like, no, I can't do that. I'm Batman. I have to go save the city. But I can be anybody I want. And that was the other thing. Because then then he's like, you'll never know if it's me. I can be anybody. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, cool. Then you can literally just go be somebody hotter and make her re-fall in love with you. You could be young, strapping, sexy Bruce Campbell at the last second here.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was a really weird
Also, they
ending.
did a really terrible job, I think, 2 different times where it was the first time was in the hospital when the doctors were examining him. They're walking through and then they do whatever with him and they walk out. And if you look in the other rooms, it is daytime, bright as all get out. But when they come back after he escapes, it's dark and rainy for no reason.
Yeah.
well, he's not
and then
bright, man.
after-
He's dark, man. I mean,
But then after the final battle, which was I'm not even gonna say middle of night. Like the fight with the helicopter and Durant was middle of the day, if that. And then they go right from there to the tower, and it's dark. Only
Right.
once he stops them, it's been like 10 minutes. And then when he leaves Julie and she starts chasing after him, it's middle of the day because he gets lost in the crowd of people going to work.
Mhm.
So I don't know if she chased him for 5 hours
No.
or what.
she didn't seem that dedicated.
Apparently not.
Well, to
'cause
be
then
fair, she
saw
was
the
chasing a
mask on the
hideous
ground
monster, so
well,
he could go be a
Yeah.
carny.
yeah, we've already said that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. The plot to the second one is interesting. The third one gets even weirder. So apparently Arnold Vasul becomes Darkman. Spoiler.
Yeah.
He takes over Peyton West Lake, which I feel like at this point if Sam Raimi was literally setting it up so Bruce could step in and play Darkman the rest of those movies. But because he didn't come back, they were just like, nope, we're recasting everybody. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Anything else you want to talk about this movie? I liked it. Like I say, this movie was made for me. It's campy. It's over the top. It's silly. It's not Liam Neeson's best work by far. But it's not his worst work. I don't really know what his worst work is. What do you think Liam Neeson's worst movie is? That's a great question.
Schindler's
Probably one of
List,
those ones that you
amazing movie.
What movie? What
Joe,
movie?
I said Schindler's List, but I was kidding. I was kidding.
I don't think I've ever seen Schindler's List.
I've seen a lot of it. Just I don't think I haven't seen it all the way through. And if I did, it's been so long I don't remember.
I've never seen it because I don't like watching depressing things. So,
Arnold
I would say maybe not. I'll say maybe not his worst movie, but yeah, we already knew that. You said it like 5 times.
No, I was looking at the third one. I wasn't sure if he took over the second one.
Oh, gotcha. A Million Ways to Die in the West was a fun movie, but
was that the one with the dude that does Family Guy?
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane's. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was fun. I had a fun time with it, and I think like
Seth MacFarlane made something that didn't fall within his own universe.
Yes.
That sounds made up.
What?
There's a theory that, obviously, Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, and Orville all exist in the same universe.
Okay.
That's all I know. I haven't actually done a big enough deep dive into it, but like we know that, like, you know, Cleveland Show and the other one,
Cleveland Show was a spinoff of
American Guy. So same
American
universe.
Dad. They've crossed over.
Yeah, done a bunch of crossovers. But it is believed
so the Simpsons,
that Orville, I guess, is somehow linked to this universe. Like,
that wouldn't be that difficult.
They haven't come to the planet where Peter is yet. Like, that's the idea. So they're waiting. I guess there was a possibility, or there was an episode pitched, I guess, or something, where they essentially would meet the human Peter Griffin, and then they wanted to do a crossover where on Family Guy, the Orville shows up. I know they made a reference. They made a reference to it.
And Archer can swap actors and have that crossover.
That was
they didn't swap actors. The same guy, Joey.
The rest of the crew, goofball.
That episode was that's a really good, clever episode.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh no, I've that's one I haven't watched yet, but yes, I've heard it was wonderful.
It's also weird to watch because isn't Frisky Dingo the precursor? Am I thinking of that right?
I thought it was, but I don't know. Like
I believe it is.
It's in the same time frame of Archer.
Yeah,
but
I think it was
beginnings of Archer.
Yeah, I think it was they wrote Frisky Dingo to be the pilot for what they wanted Archer to be, kind of. But Frisky Dingo is really good, but it doesn't age great. But that's where I found Run the Jewels, because Killer Mike's in that show. He voices one of that. That's how they actually met, was because of that show. Interesting.
Okay,
they were voice actors originally.
So I don't really have anything else.
Nope.
What about either of you?
No, I covered all of my notes.
Just liked it. Yeah, I just liked it. I thought it was good.
It wasn't terrible.
Rent it for $4. Rent it for $4 if you have Amazon credit, which I allegedly do, but couldn't use on this for some reason. I don't know. It wouldn't let me.
Amazon's fucked, man. Like, what?
Yo, my Amazon.
You don't get boobs in Weird Science. You can't use your credits.
I can't cash my stuff when I actually watch. I had $3 in credit. I had $3 in credit. No idea why it wouldn't let me cash it in. Anyway, but yeah, rent this movie for $4 if you want a good laugh and bake a cake. That would be my suggestion. It really actually helps. It's just like watching Spider-Man.
All right.
Watch the first half of Spider-Man, go see the Barbie movie, watch the second half of Spider-Man. That's the trick of watching Spider-Man.
Okay. Which Barbie? I mean, at the time of recording, Barbie's gonna be on Max here in like 5 days. At the time of release, it's been out for a month. So
At time of
on Max.
recording, Godzilla -1 just beat Oppenheimer in something in Blockbuster of
Did it?
2023. Yeah, it just passed
I-
the like money mark.
Our friend Clay just went and saw it, and he was really excited for it.
It's
I
really good.
Would like to go see it if I would. Yeah, you saw it. I would like to go
Yeah.
see it before it gets out of theaters, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time.
I need to rewatch. It's definitely a movie you need to go see, like in theater. Like it translates a lot better. I have to watch Shin Godzilla again, but it may be my favorite Godzilla movie.
Would you recommend
So-
Shin before this one, or
You could. They don't exist in the same universe.
it's
But
not okay? Okay.
yeah, no, this is a standalone. I mean, I'm sure it'll get brought into Toho. I'm sure once they inevitably do it again all over. But I haven't seen Monarch yet either, but I've heard good things. So,
Yeah, I don't have Apple TV Plus, so I can't watch Monarch.
Yeah.
I want to, but
yeah, it's just not worth it for me.
all right,
It's
well,
expensive.
yeah. All right, so I'm going to start out with our finger count because I figured that was a smart thing to take, especially at the very beginning when he is cutting off the dude's fingers. Which
I
was
did
another
think
thing
it was
I did
messed up that
remember.
the only black guy in this movie, his last name was Black, but maybe it was just me. It seems like a very Sam Raimi thing to do. I don't know why.
That's fair. That's fair. So that very opening scene though, like right off the bat, there was like 30 some kills just right there alone, which I was really impressed with. But anyway,
Yeah.
our finger count was 20, and I'm counting the fingers we saw get cut off and then the fingers we had there in
Inside
the
of his little
case.
case.
Yeah. So
Okay.
20 for that. And then as for the kill count or unalive count, I don't know. 47 total. So not
Still not as many as
decent
Batman.
amount.
So
Still not as many as
clearly,
Batman.
clearly, this was not to be like based off of Batman at all because kill count was nowhere near it. So
I will say this: I'm watching again. Time of recording. I'm watching all the DC EU movies before Aquaman comes out, and so I've seen BVS and Justice League because I want to. That's why. And
Joey
Batman's
is,
just killing shit left and right.
Joey's a
That's right.
masochist, and one of the
There
things
is
he likes
that.
to do is put himself through the pain of watching DC movies.
I feel so. I know we're watching him for the show. Like
We'll
at
watch
some
it for
point,
this at some point in time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched Man of Steel, and I think that's it. I think that's where I.
Man
I
of
think
Steel
I
wasn't bad.
I liked Man of Steel. I still like it. I think it made me like Superman, which was a
Batman versus Superman sucked though.
So
I
when we
never
get to
saw
that,
it.
I'm trying to decide if I'm going to make you guys watch the theatrical version and the ultimate cut, or
Is
just the
Ultimate Cut
theatrical
on
version.
Max?
It is actually
Maybe I'll watch
yes.
that then.
Because I think the regular versions on the theatrical versions on Netflix.
Okay.
I could be
I'll
wrong.
watch. Maybe it's look. I've got like a window of like 2 days because I don't work for a school anymore, so I don't get the school
The ultimate cuts.
schedule anymore.
I will tell you that the ultimate edition is better because it actually has a full story.
Okay.
They cut out like a half hour of stuff to make the film so they can get more like theater showings, and
Yeah.
you lose so much of the story
All right.
in that version.
Because realistically
I
speaking,
will say
I'd like to rewatch The Suicide Squad again because that's arguably one of my favorite superhero movies, not just DC movies. But I do
Fair.
feel like I should watch the rest of I feel like I owe it to you, specifically nobody else.
I mean, technically, you should watch Suicide Squad and then Birds of Prey before.
I did.
Suicide
I
Squad.
like Birds of Prey.
Yeah, the
I thought Birds of
emancipation
Prey was
of
great.
I just rewatched Suicide Squad, and it's actually it's not great. Like it's a fun, good movie. It's not
Wait,
like the best
Suicide
movie,
Squad
but
or
it's good.
The Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad, the first one. There are some problems with it, but it's not a bad movie. Like I still had a good time with it.
it came out at a time when Marvel was absolutely killing it with superhero movies.
Correct, and it also, and I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about the movie in the future. But Warner Brothers was trying so desperately to get that superhero comic book money that they were muddling so much and ruined BVS, Suicide Squad, and Justice League. Which I am going to make you both watch Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League. So get ready for that.
It's like 14 hours of movies.
How about we just watch the Snyder cut and then we can remember how bad the other one was?
Here's the thing, because I just watched the other one, and there's some good in that movie. Now, mind you, the good in that movie is majority of Zack Snyder's movie. But there's a few scenes that Whedon did that are fine.
Like where Diana's holding the sword between her butt cheeks?
No, that was Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's my bad. That was, yeah.
Anyway, not talking about that. 47 for the kill count. Ron, what do you got for the bingo?
All right, so we've got comic logic, obviously, unexplainable science, implied nudity, product placement, hero kills. We kind of got a villain monologue, and
we did actually at the end.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying, like, there was a part where like the dude was talking, but like And
I guess honestly, when he was talking to Julie, that would count as a monologue. When he was explaining, oh yeah, so I've got Durant under my thumb, kind of thing. So
yeah, that's what I was counting because I actually remembered that part. But yeah, that's what I got.
Chuck, how we do for the Spawn Cape Continuum?
I mean, it's the practical effects are cool. The computer generated crap did not look great when they were like printing the nose or whatever. This is what I didn't understand. So they had like a 3D rendering like beam that like shaped and built the nose, but then it printed separately in a different machine.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. It didn't make any sense. Either way, it didn't look great, but the practical effects look really dope. Like I still thought.
So there's a spot.
Mask looked good.
Yeah. There's a part when he's sitting on the top of the building, and like it's got like the green screen, like backdrop of the skyline or whatever, and it was so terribly made that I'm pretty sure that Star Wars did a better job of it.
But that was actually, there's a few different times. Like the transition when Julie was standing there looking at the loft burning, and then it transitioned to her at the graveyard at his grave. It's not the greatest.
It's not the best. It's not the best thing. But I don't know. I'm gonna say 35 out of 57 Spawn Capes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go into our rating. Chuck, what you got out of 10?
All right. Was this a Darkman movie? No idea. I've never read the comic. Didn't know it was. But so this is a movie that became a comic, not a movie based off a comic.
Correct.
Do you think it would be worth? There's no way it's going to be worth looking at, right?
Probably not. I don't 100%. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. I couldn't tell you.
Shut up, you stupid furball. Okay. My cat is screaming at me again. I'm going to say, here's the thing though. I liked it. It had just enough stuff to keep me entertained the entire time. 90% strong. I did some baking. That was good too. I'm going to say, I feel bad because the last movie we reviewed, I think I shot too low, but I don't want to shoot too high on this.
You actually didn't. Like, we all stayed around the same, because there was V from Vendetta. You had a 7.9, I had an 8.1, Ron had an 8.5. Like, we all were in the same general area.
Yeah, I feel like I probably should put it in 8.1, but anyway. I'm going to say 6-1.
Okay.
My guy, I'm recording right now. Could you keep your volume down and the language, please? We don't want to get a strike. Cats.
Joe, you'll have to
God.
bleep out everything the cat says.
Yeah.
I
seriously,
right?
Joey.
Like I can't do. I still haven't learned how to edit on YouTube, so I'll do that
Oh,
in the.
That's
in
a
the
shame because he said
podcast.
some pretty heinous stuff, dude. Like
Look,
we already
I
got one
get it.
strike.
I know.
I had to cover her ears up because of the bad
Yeah.
things that were being said. So
I get it.
Awful.
Like I can
You're out
bleep
of
it in
control.
the podcast, but
Joey,
like
I thought you wanted this
sorry.
to be successful. I don't
I
understand.
never said that. I'm having fun talking to my friends. Ron, what you got for your score?
The fact that I fell asleep twice trying to watch this kind of lowered the score for me. There were some fun parts, there were some interesting parts, there were some terrible parts. But overall, it wasn't a horrible movie. And if I didn't have to rent it again, I would probably try watching it again just to see it all the way through. So I gave it a 5.25.
5.25. Okay.
What about you, Mr. Joe?
So I don't think I'd ever watch this movie again, if I'm being honest. Like it was fine. And there
Oh yeah,
like,
don't get it twisted. I'm never watching this movie again. It wasn't that good.
Sure, but like for me, if it's if it's 5 or above, that means I will watch it again. That's just my rating.
I was saying, damn, I'm gonna start changing my ratings then.
It's like a
I'm
weird.
probably
Like
no-
I
that's-
guess I get that, but there are times. So what about movies when like you know the plot, so that kind of like then ruins the rewatchability of a movie?
It depends on the movie because, like I just
say-
said, I've
let's
seen
say
all the DC
Inception.
movies, and I'm gonna watch all. I've never actually seen Inception, so
Oh.
I couldn't actually tell you that.
Well,
Ironically enough, though, I know the plot, like Inception, Interstellar, like I know the twist on all those. Still haven't seen them, so I would actually watch
Monty
them
Python
because
Holy
I
Grail.
haven't seen them. I love that movie. I watch it all the time. Nah, not all the time, but I watch it enough.
You're
Like,
yeah.
there's certain
I'm starting
movies
to really
where
question your taste.
you should. I've got odd taste.
If you're gonna question his taste, you should probably ask Emily. I assume she'd know how he tastes better than anybody. Heyo.
I wasn't really sure what you were going with there.
Let's check 2 or 3.
I just went with it. I wasn't sure if you were insulting her specifically, like his
Never.
tastes are
I love
bad.
Emily.
Go like I don't know. Listen, I called her stupid last time, so
It's a good thing she doesn't listen to this. She'd come over there and kick your ass. She's bigger than I am.
She might, yeah. Anyway,
hot.
Your score, Joey.
Yeah, as I'm saying, if it's 5 or over, I won't watch it again. I'd watch it again. More than likely watch it again. If it's under 5, chances are probably not watching it again. That being said, I'm giving this a 4.9. It's right there on that cusp because I did have fun with it. Like it was the scene when he's running on top of the trailer, like I laughed out loud. There are scenes where he goes crazy where I'm like, this is so dumb, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to rewatch this movie. Like I'm probably never going to rewatch this movie ever again. Now, I know we're going to watch 2 and 3 in the future.
Well, that's Future Joe's problem.
Correct, exactly. So that being said, with that, we get a combined score of 5.42, which puts it at. Let me pull up the list here.
5 or that feels fair. This is a pretty run of the mill movie.
We were talking about Conan earlier. It goes right in between Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. Barbarian had a 5.49 and Destroyer was a 5.39. So it goes right in between those two at number 40 out of this is movie number 79. So
damn,
that's not bad. It's about halfway. It's about midway through our list.
I'm okay with that.
So Well, I'm glad you're okay with it because that's where it's.
I feel like it because of our score specifically, it now makes it canon in the Conan universe, like Crawl.
Because it's stuck in between the two.
Yo, can you imagine a Conan Darkman crossover?
I mean, look, if they have a comic of it, I can imagine anything.
I kind of want to make that comic. Ron, draw me that comic.
Darkman and Conan.
Yeah,
And
put it up.
Crawl.
I'll write it. You draw it. No Crawl. It's just
no Crawl.
It's
just Conan and Darkman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
are they
unless we
working
do-
together
unless
or
we do
against
that-
each other?
Unless we do the Conaniverse or something.
Well, I mean, because Conan himself is now, because Marvel, I believe, owns it again, or maybe they did for a minute, became part of the Marvel universe for a hot second. Like they brought him into the universe, and then I don't know if they lost the rights or if they sold the rights, or if they still have them. But it didn't last. Like he was part of the Avengers for a hot second.
Yeah, but then they made their own version of him. I forget his name. It's not Khazar. Khazar is the Tarzan knockoff. I can't.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Yeah. I just can't think of the.
We read him in the Spider-Man
knockoff.
book from the 70s. I don't remember.
He's actually they just re-released him. They just did a book recently. It's actually really good. I read it. I really liked it.
So is this Darkman versus Conan, or is this a buddy cop?
I don't know. I'm gonna put it into a Chat GPT and tell him to write it for me, and I'll just send you the script. In fact, I'll do it right now. Hold on.
This is important. Okay, you have 8 panels, so do with that what you will.
I got you. Hold on. You guys can wrap up. Hold on.
Anyway.
All right. Well, in that case, Chuck, tell us where they can find you.
Yeah.
You can find me typing right here. Hold on.
You can find Chuck at Kicked Out of the Hood.
Holy, it's writing it. It's writing the plot.
Jesus. Okay.
You can find me over. Oh wow, I'm so hyped right now. You can find me over at TikTok and Instagram, Kicked Out of the Hood, no being kicked. You can follow my kitchen page on TikTok, Kicked Out of the Kitchen. That's kind of all I got going on right now. Joey, where can they find you?
Nope, it's Ron's turn.
Yeah, I threw it to you.
Cool, and I threw it to Ron.
Oh, deflection. All right. You can find me good at this game on Instagram and TikTok. You can also follow my art page on Instagram, which is Good Art This Game. And obviously on this fantastic podcast. Joey.
Comic Book Rundown. No, Comic Rundown on Twitter, Comic Book Rundown on Instagram, Comic Book Rundown on Threads, emails at comicbookrundown@gmail.com. Rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice or on one of those wonderfully terrible streaming services, social media services, whatever. And we'll read it on an upcoming episode. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic, and our song was done by Cam. Just Cam.
Just Cam.
Just Cam. So,
Just Cam.
Speaking of things that don't have anything to do with Cam.
Yep. Our next movie, we are starting it, gentlemen. We are starting the Star Wars sagas. And we will be watching Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, for next week. We will be joined, just got confirmation, from our good friend Jordan Zeilinger, formerly from Wreck My Podcast.
No, you can't even say it anymore. Wreck My Podcast doesn't even exist anymore, so...
I said he was formerly from it, so...
Yeah, but nobody knows what that is anymore because it's just gone.
Look, you can take that up with Jordan when he's here next week, okay?
I'll give him shit, don't worry. I gave him shit the last time he was on the show, too.
That's fair.
That's fair. We may watch Phantom Menace, or we will be reading the script that I inevitably write of Darkman versus Conan, Shadows of Steel.
Oh!
Jesus. That could be a Patreon. We can do that as a Patreon.
Yo.
That's actually a pretty good fucking idea.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, don't say anything. Wait till he's
Patreon.
All right. Kill it.
I think we should do that as a Patreon.
Bye.
Dude, this is so good.
Save that. Okay.
Chuck,
Everybody,
say goodbye.
We're out of here.
Bye, everybody. This
There
is
we
so
go.
good.